Tonight, shocking behavior caught on tape. Employees of a big U.S. defense contractor in Afghanistan appearing extremely drunk, fumbling, and shirtless on the job. A cell phone video obtained exclusively by ABC News is igniting outrage over a scene that looks more like a rowdy frat house than the operations center of a company paid to carry out U.S. policy overseas. ABC's Brian Ross brings us this investigation.
In a place where terrorists have and will attack at any time. These are some of the men being paid by American taxpayers to help provide security for U.S. civilian personnel 24/7. The security manager for an American company called George Scientific, with a $47 million contract from the Pentagon, staggeringly drunk in the operations center.
Kevin, come on, help me.
This is the company's medical officer, wiped out, stoned, after shooting up with narcotics.
Please snap out of it.
Yeah, right there.
And this is the company's top on-site executive, in front of a bonfire where, according to former employees, live ammunition rounds were tossed into the flames.
It was like a frat house for adults.
The video footage was provided to ABC News by former employees John Melson and Kenny Smith.
And was this an every night thing like this?
No, sir, it wasn't every night. It was every other night.
Like this? Boom! Nothing! Boom!
They say the video documents allegations in a lawsuit about what they claim was dangerous, illegal behavior that put American lives at risk.
It was going against everything what we were trying to do over there. And this arrogant image that Americans have worldwide, this was feeding right into it.
This all took place, they say, earlier this year in Kabul, Afghanistan, in a building just a few blocks away from the U.S. Embassy, a command center for George Scientific, hired under the U.S. Legacy Program to provide security and train Afghan police in counterinsurgency and professional standards.
It was like the opposite. Instead of training the Afghan forces, they basically taught them Americans can't be counted on.
But the video shows behavior in sharp contrast to professional standards and to U.S. Army rules and Georgia's own corporate policy that there is supposed to be zero tolerance for alcohol or drug use.
Anybody who uses alcohol or drugs around armed weapons is putting themselves and others in tremendous amount of danger.
Retired U.S. Army General Peter Chiarelli, now an ABC News consultant, oversaw contractors when he served in Iraq and says in this case it seems clear there was a failure of oversight by someone in the U.S. military.
All indications from what I've been able to read and see so far would indicate that somebody missed something.
You want some of this?
The two former employees say this night was the final straw, as the country security director, Eric Miller, engaged in a drunken wrestling match with the operations officer that went on until the wee hours of the morning.
I like you mounted, son, and I like you mounted.
Drunk?
Correct.
He's drinking what, their vodka?
Vodka, yes, sir.
Could they have been possibly ready for an attack?
No, sir.
What were you thinking as you saw this?
Total disbelief.
Miller told ABC News what happened that night was not as bad as the video suggests. Smith says the only way he knew to stop it was to get rid of the liquor.
And I just took it upon myself to take it to the bathroom and pour it out.
Later, Smith went to get help from the medic, Kevin Carlson. Smith says he found him completely out of it, high from shooting up a narcotic called ketamine, something ashamed Carlson has now come forward to admit.
You don't want to come up here looking like that.
It was getting to be such a nightmare just living in that place. I needed to get away.
Carlson, now living in Germany, was fired by George Scientific. He told ABC News he wants the truth about what he calls massive drug and alcohol abuse at the contractor to come out, including his own involvement.
And if I try to hide what I did, it doesn't make me look very good anyway. So I'd rather just be honest about what happened.
Watchdog groups say the behavior over the years of some U.S. war contractors threatens to undercut U.S. efforts in Iraq and Afghanistan.
Potential for disaster on this boggles the mind.
This video was made 3 years ago in Kabul, showing a wild party put on by a different set of contractors, the Arbor Group, in charge of security for the U.S. Embassy, a video first exposed by the Project on Government Oversight.
We're relying more and more on contractors in Afghanistan as our troops are pulling out. These are the people who are going to be left behind and are reflecting the United States. And it has got to be that there's more sense of oversight on the part of the military and the U.S. government to make sure that these contractors are not actually undermining the diplomatic mission by their behavior.
George Scientific says it agrees the behavior on that video was unacceptable and says it has fired or placed on leave all those involved. And following questions from ABC News, the U.S. Army's Criminal Investigation Division opened an investigation into what the video shows. And they might want to ask why, for months, authorities in the U.S. military did not seem to know it was going on.